Good morning, everybody, for like 17 whole more minutes. And I never know why I start this way because, we're a podcast. People listen when they want. It might be good evening, it might be good night, it might be good morning, but my radio hero is Harry Carey. So that's why he always started, "Good afternoon, everybody," or "Good evening, everybody." Anyway, welcome back to 22 panels no more, where rather than talking about comic books, we play the role playing game Die, that was first and simultaneously the comic Die by Kieran Gillen and Stephanie Hans. So without further ado, I will pass us off to our what should we call you? Our Die Master, our Game
Ooh.
Master, our you're not really a dungeon master.
Yeah, we're still above ground, so
Our world our world
I
creator,
mean,
our
lots of D&D is still above ground, and they
Doom. We
still
could
get
just call
called
you
Dungeon
Doom.
Master.
Doom. Oh boy.
One
Why
world
don't we just
under
call him our
Doom.
storyteller?
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I like the sound of Die Master. Die Master was pretty
Okay,
fun.
we'll pass it off to our Die
Um,
Master, Mr. Phil Ebbing. Take it
All
away.
right. And good morning to everyone else out there. I say that morning is less a time of day than a state of mind. I am indeed our Die Master for this wild adventure we're on, and we're going to start with our familiar passing of the die ritual. So first off is the D10, and it is wielded by.
that
If you
would
want to
be
introduce
by
yourself.
me.
Yeah.
I am Peter, but I'm playing Lex in game. The Neo, who currently is wielding optical illusions, mostly to hide and now to create sort of a defensive um, stance. Makes me think of how a lot of my own players were trying to or want this rare item that gives disadvantage in D&D to like all attacks against them. I'm like, the hell. Anyhow, but yeah, so I think that covers me unless there's more that should be said.
All right. So that's Peter. We'll get more mysterious illusions and dubious disadvantages from him later. Next is the D12, wielded by Garion Eddings, our Godbinder, who that'll be something to ask your personas is where do you think Garion is? Who do you think Garion is? Because right now he is possessed by the god of fire, Toasty, a flaming giant with the head of a perfectly toasted marshmallow. Next, we have our D8, which is wielded by.
Chu, playing Eamon Hartwell, the Emotion Knight. He's not really sure what's going on. He is wondering if somebody slipped something into the coffee.
There we go. And next, we have the D4, which powers the Dictator, and the wielder of our D4 is dead. Next is the D6. It's just a normal one. Definitely not full of magical world-altering abilities, and that is the regular old bones we have entrusted to.
The the fool. You telling me I have a normal die? I could buy and sell you multiple times. What kind of bullshit is this? A normal not He's still trading me like Louis Chisholm, the awkward, quiet kid I was in high school, rather than Alan Spectrum, the amazing, world dominating, genius, cool guy I am now. I guess I'm the fool. That makes sense. I'm kind of foolish sometimes. Um, yeah, and
Seen some.
I will say that I'm not saying that anybody slipped anything into the coffee, but if somebody slipped something into the coffee, it was me.
Um,
This is a new side to Alan. I think I like this. This is great. Finally, we have the D20, and that die is mine. So now we are going to transport into our magical world. If everyone would close your eyes and slowly lower your die of power down to the table. 1, 2, 3. Let go. Open your eyes, and we are there. We are on the road. We are traveling between realms.
On
We
the
have
road again.
I
on the
got a
road
6.
again.
What does
Just
that
can't
mean?
wait to get on the
You
road
got a
again.
6. It's exciting. That means you probably need a nap, but there's no time to rest for sure. So we're going to start out. I'm going to ask you all how your personas are feeling. It's definitely been a few hours now. One of those. I know that Eamon thinks there was something in the coffee, but what what elements of the real world are pulling back to you? Who's waiting for you? What would you be doing now if you hadn't been transported to a magical realm in another world? And do you believe you're actually there?
Well, how many hours have passed exactly?
I'll say it's been 2 hours, and this is kind of over the span of time of traveling from one world to another. I'd say that's even 2 more hours. So we can say that we're on an empty countryside, rolling up to civilization on
So
the
it's
hill
only
ahead of
been
us.
4 hours since we left
Well, it's a
the
bit
comic
different for
shop.
us. Well, if you think about it, the only things we've
Yeah,
really
that's
done,
what I was trying to ask was
yeah,
in how long has it been?
yeah, I'd say by the time we get to where we're going next, it'll have been about 4 hours, you know.
Hmm.
So it's long enough to sort of realize like, okay, this is we are somewhere, something is happening, this isn't
And I
your
imagine that most of the people that I know I'm close to and be worried about me aren't really worried yet
they aren't worried yet. Okay.
let's be honest.
Hmm.
I said I was gonna go play a tabletop RPGs, and some people play those for like all day. I probably
Hmm.
told my spouse that I was not gonna be back till late. As for how I'm thinking personally, I'm a little confused because I don't know if I'm on drugs or if this is a virtual experience because I don't remember putting on any sort of virtual reality gear. I
Hmm.
definitely don't remember the comic book shop having anything like this complicated setup. Um,
The Notably, the outside of the comic shop was not dystopian rubble of a destroyed future society. And as you've walked through the landscape, you will see none of the familiar facets of suburbia, but instead rolling hills filled with magic and not quite normal creatures. There's still, foxes, dogs, wolves, those sort of things going on, but a lot more wings, a lot more sparkles in the shrubbery than you would have seen
oh,
in our
sure.
world.
But I was gonna, yeah, finish that statement with
Oh, sorry.
no, you're fine. Where was I gonna finish that statement? Yeah, maybe I just never woke up this morning and this is my dream of the day.
Hmm.
I don't really know.
Okay.
I think I'm in the same boat as Chew, except I don't, distrust everybody to the point where I think somebody's like my alcohol. At least I'm hoping that's not the case. But
I I will say the one firm difference that you have is that if you are on drugs, you know that you have 5 more hits in your pocket with that fair gold that you picked up earlier. And you can feel both a compulsion to take and a swelling of excitement whenever you feel it jingle in in your purse strings,
is this what it's like to be on drugs? Maybe I am on drugs.
Maybe you are on drugs. I mean, it's one of those things where, what's the difference between a mind altering substance and the knowledge of power, Um, and with that, you feel nothing verbal, but you get the sense of an intelligence, a, an intelligence in the back of your head. Sorry, my cats are feeling it's time for Kitty Fight Club, but it is not.
It's always time for Kitty Fight Club.
That's the show they put on when they want another can, but I'm saying it's not time yet, guys. Anyway, so you're feeling the pulse of a foreign intelligence. It's nonverbal, and it's alien. It's there. You can tell it's there. You can tell it's something else, but it's not quite speaking to you yet. And you can just feel it flaring up. It's the source of your compulsion. It's the source of your desire to pop more coins into that slot behind your ear.
Yeah, maybe it is drugs. I don't know. Yeah, I've never felt that before. So maybe this is drugs, and maybe I did wake up this morning. It's one of those. It's one of those things. I don't know what it is, but
Mhm.
go with it for now, and
Mhm.
hopefully be out of it by the time I need to be home.
Anyone else, feeling any obligations from the real world, or are you, how are you grappling with the situation in front of you right now? How do you think you're going to get home? Are you worried about the future?
I'm thinking this guitar's cool, but like my drum set didn't come with. So I'm kind of pounding on the top of the guitar. I'm going, man, normally I read a comic while I'm doing this, but I don't have the big screen on the wall to look at. And I think it might be espresso time. Where's my girlfriend? Does she come with? She generally brings the espresso around now.
Where we're all out of espresso. Unfortunately, in our traveling gear, I don't think anyone has any coffee makers of any sort. Um, okay, so it sounds like Alan is largely unperturbed, which does not surprise me in one bit. Um, that's another thing. So, Chu, who does Eamon? Hey, sorry about that. Who does Eamon have in their life on the other side? Who would notice them gone for any amount of time, or what obligations would he have had to get back to?
So Eamon has his job that I don't know if we ever established what day of the week it was. But depending on it, although it is a night shift and Eamon always worked pretty autonomously. So he's never really given much notice just because things get done. And so it's one of those cases where the person is just you don't have to micromanage them. They just get their stuff done. They don't you don't necessarily notice them, but you know it's getting done. As far as other people that might notice him missing, they do have he does have a roommate that he lives with. And although, as someone in their I believe I said their late 20s, maybe you take off for a couple of days, they might not give a whole lot of notice, especially if maybe they are doing something or going over the weekend. The only thing there I thought was like, hope they remember to feed the cat.
All right. So it's not quite hit that point for you yet either. Okay.
No.
So rolling along the hills, you come across an encampment with it looks like, and it sounds like a giant Ren fair. Only you wouldn't realize this, but these are people's everyday clothes as opposed to their special dress up clothes.
Long, long time ago in the land of idiot boys, there lived a phenomenal cat who loved to wallow all day.
This is the point where I would say, dear listener, if you can find a way to put on Mountain Realm at the same time that you're listening to this podcast, I would highly recommend it. Uh, as what's known as dungeon synth music, and it sounds like you're in a fantasy world. That's what I've been listening to put together a lot of stuff here. Um, so there's a raucous chorus around you, and you can tell there's a bunch of clamoring towards there's all kinds of shops over one way, uh, food that resembles a turkey leg, but it's not quite a turkey, um, as well as a giant field where there is jousting and knightly combat between you, and you notice across the way there is
Yeah, anything you want at Alice's restaurant.
there's a pavilion where there's the seats of royalty. You can't quite make out the faces of them, but you can tell that there are four kings observing this nightly tournament.
It's
Um,
good to be king just for a while.
I was wondering so if everyone here is at a Ren Fair, what would you all want to do? What would be on your list?
For me, I would say I at first do a perimeter of just like, wonder what's all here. And I don't go into I probably wouldn't go into any shops. I would just be looking for, just take a quick scope of everything that's here and then make just a mental note of like, okay, here are the things that I want to check out. Also, first thing you always do at the Ren Fair, where are the good bathrooms at? Because we always know that there's the good bathrooms that are more like actual bathrooms, and then there's the porta potties. So you always check that out first, and then also looking for where's the food that's not like a complete ripoff, because there's all those places that like where the food is like here is $12 for a mediocre piece of pizza. However, the barbecue smoked chicken leg for $6 is actually like 10 times better.
And that's where I've got bad news for you in that the sensible location for a cluster of porta potties or bathrooms, and I haven't done much research into how they handled these sorts of things back in the Middle Ages, but there's just there's a open trough of shit. There's just a massive pile of human, animal, mythical creature. Just it's one of the most awful things you've ever seen. And it's at this point where I myself realize I don't want to describe this anymore and need to steer you away from it.
Yeah, I would have just gone with there's a fucking outhouse, but
I mean, if there's a trough, Eamon would immediately look like, in terms of what the quote unquote good bathroom is, whatever is the equivalent of being upstream.
Getting the feeling that Lex is gonna have an uncomfortable day.
Yeah, I mean it's probably best if we don't worry about the bathroom situation for now.
Out of character, it kind of feels like this isn't a Ren Fair. This is a fair in possibly the pre-Renaissance.
That's fair. That's a good point. It's a good point. Enlightenment has
like
nothing to do with this.
Club.
Yeah, and on that note, someone astray from the jousting club recognizes Eamon and says, "Hey, aren't you due prep for the battle over there? Like that's if you're the one that's out there." And it's at that point where there was a concluding match between. Oh yeah, somebody went down. Somebody just took a big blow, and now they're crowning a champion. And he takes off his helmet, and it looks exactly like Eamon. And you realize that the downed person who just got his arm cut off also looked like Eamon. And that is the point where you remember that, oh yeah, Garion used to tease Eamon by coming up with all these different NPCs at various points, and realize now that they're all fighting amongst each other in this tournament.
So I was thinking about using my new power for a cup of espresso, but I have a better idea. Uh, do they've got lances that I could grab already?
Yeah, they have lances there.
All right. So I'm gonna put an X on my die
Hmm.
on the number one. So 1X, 3 and 4 are O's.
Hmm.
And I am going to ask for a dirt bike.
A dirt bike. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna
Um,
go full on sir here.
Full Sir, oh, which is great because I watched the '80s classic Knight Riders last night in anticipation of this.
In
So
anticipation of this.
yeah,
I'm that predictable.
well, not you. It's to get in the tournament mindset, the off medieval. But no, I did not expect. Okay, so you get a dirt bike, and now you have to head to registration.
No,
And no,
I just
you're
turn
hitting the field.
to Eamon and say, I got this. And I hop on my bike, I go down, I grab a lance, and I get into the slots for the next.
Slots for the next round of jousting. Okay.
Right,
Um,
right.
in that case, I'm going to say, okay, I was not prepared for this. But that's okay. That's okay. Here's what we're going to do is
I'm the fool. That's
you
what
are the
I do,
fool.
baby.
You're rushing in. Okay. So you're lined up for the next joust. Meanwhile, someone is ushering Eamon towards the next fight, up to separating him to get him in line. I would say, Ted, go ahead and give me a dexterity roll with your fool die, of course. And as you are now motorbike jousting
So
against
a dexterity roll would be I've got 3 dexterity, so am I
uh-huh.
doing
So you're doing those three plus one for the fool die.
okay.
Um, yeah, because I think it'd probably be a pretty dexterous feat to ride a motorbike. Well, actually, yeah, no, we'll stick with dexterity because that's yeah. I'm not gonna
All
take you
right.
out of
2,
one.
3, 3, and 6 on my fool die.
6 on your fool die. That means you can roll your special, your fool die special. You can roll another die. If you get another 6 on that, you can roll it again.
Okay, so am I rolling the fool die again?
No, you're adding another die to the pool. You
Just
can
adding another die.
add in another die. You can roll it again. It's yeah, that's the fool special. All right,
A 1.
a 1. Okay, so you only had one success. It sounded like, which is now, ooh, okay. So the knights here, despite my wanting to get you to think that they roll dice, they actually fight with tarot cards. And so I just pulled 3 tarot cards to go up against you. We have Judgment Reversed, which I think is you can feel the beating of your chest, the pounding that okay, this is where you're testing your mettle. And the next 2 were face cards, the Queen of Cups and a reversed Page of Pentacles. So the Queen of Cups, this is one of those moments where as you clearly get a clean hit in on the knight that's coming your way, and you feel their lance shatter against your magical luck. It hits you, but it doesn't hurt you. And you think of Rose. So what do you think of her if she could see you now? What would what thoughts of her are coming to your mind?
Rose is my girlfriend? Or
Last I heard,
I
yeah.
couldn't remember my name for my girlfriend.
That's fair. That's very foolish.
So thank you.
It's not a good problem to have.
Well, I mean, I didn't write it down, and you didn't put it in any of the other show notes.
Oh, sorry about
I
that.
looked through to find it.
Oh.
It makes sense when I think about it, because I'm certain that I took it from the Little Prince.
Mm.
So I think of Rose, and I go, man, she makes good espresso. She's good at other stuff too. And if it weren't for her, I'd probably forget to pay the bills.
All right. Interesting. I I'm not quite sure what to make of that yet, but I'm sure it'll come up again. And and with that, the round of jousting is over, and the
Did
tournament.
did I win?
You did. You won. You won.
It's
You
good
won
to
your
be
bout.
king. Have your own way.
Smashed your
Get the
lance into
feeling
the
of
other rider.
peace
All right.
at the end of the day. I got my guitar. I
Yep.
gotta.
So okay. That's interesting. Is that
I'm a
you're
bard,
now
remember?
exactly, yeah. So you're playing guitar while on the back of a motorbike. Um, I'm going to say
After
that
winning, yeah.
after winning,
Of
you're now
course.
having a victory
I'm
lap,
doing a wheelie and playing guitar.
doing a wheelie as the stage is cleared, and Eamon can now see that the four kings who are judging this are they have the faces of the four teachers of the subjects that brought you torment in high school. So there is the face of your Spanish teacher, your trig teacher, your chem teacher, and then you couldn't even remember what that fourth subject was. So behind the three of them is sitting another king with his head a giant void of static and negative energy that's swirling as he is clearly the one who has organized and brought together all of these versions of you that are fighting each other. And you hear from him, he tells you, he says, now, young Eamon, you have a choice. And if you remember at the end of last episode, the ghost gave you a tarot
Is
deck.
he, is he talking to me as Eamon or him as Eamon?
You are not Eamon, so he is not talking to
I
you. You're
know, but I thought we were talking about the people who tormented me because I just wrote. So
no,
I'll go
sorry,
away
sorry.
now.
Chu has been brought into the
Gotcha.
center of the arena, and he is set up to duel. You have to choose between fighting your dream self or your spirit self. And the way this fight is going to work, that determines which of my two tarot decks that you'll go up against. You can choose with each round to either roll your dice normally or to pull that many cards and trust fate in accept your fate, so to be.
I'd say dream self.
Dream Self, excellent. Okay, so for that one, that is using the Cosmic Slumber Tarot as drawn by Tilly Walden. It is an excellent deck. It's a little bulkier feel than most of the other ones. That's one of the interesting things is that even though they all have 78 cards, this one is well over the height of the other two decks that I have. So it's bulky. They're a little bit taller, but it still feels good. It's a nice one. And for you should you choose to trust the cards over your dice, will be assisted by the Otherkin tarot deck by what's her name? Ciolo Thompson, which is it's a really wild combination of animals and animal people hybrids, and yeah, it's another really fun one that is full of wisdom from beyond the pale. So, all right, so you're now squaring up against. You said it was your dream self. Okay, so that's round one. Round one now. Did you want to roll or did you want to pull?
I would say let's go ahead and pull.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. So you've got, we'll do 3 and 3. So here we go. This is, ooh, okay. So the first, oh, these series of, okay, I should have practiced this a little more. But the first thing in facing this dream self is you realize it's a version of you that is both terrifying and powerful, rather than being a night of acceptance and trust. This is a night of terror and fears, and he has immediately begun staring you down, knowing that, giving you the implication that anything unreal, anything you could have dreamed to be, is inherently going to be better than you are. And you feel yourself plagued by those anxieties, those doubts of all the differences between who you wanted to be and who you actually are in this moment. And in that was the conflict of the Six of Pentacles and a reverse Nine of Swords. And now, as you see behind this terrible knight, the moon rises up behind him. This isn't actually happening. This is sort of a metaphorical dream state of the moon coming out behind him as he is now draining your terror from you, where to power his own sword is that he doesn't feel his own fear. He's not afraid of this fight himself, but instead he is drawing on your fears to power his emotional weapon. And this is where, if you actually really quickly just want to give me a roll of your D8, I forgot to mention that. So last episode, when you had a critical fail, what that did was it reset your emotional link to your weapon so that now, rather than a fully developed voice, it is the whines, cries, and barks of a puppy in your mind as you have to reestablish your bond with your weapon in order to fight. And so you feel that first link of a dog in your mind. And now, those were the preliminaries. Sorry, was someone else going to say something?
I was like, that's a 7.
A 7. Ooh, okay. So that's a strong. It's now grown from a puppy to a loyal hound. That is perfect. So it is getting stronger. You can feel that weight of emotion. Do you want to try to swing out and attack now?
I would say that I would be, Eamon would be more thinking of, just based on nature of being a little more reactionary, kind of setting up more of a defensive stance.
Okay, excellent.
And waiting for, because they look aggressive. Sometimes that leads to overconfidence, and then as they come forward, maybe looking for my opening instead.
It is miraculous that you say that, because this fight is going very interestingly and much quicker than I thought. Okay, so with that, okay, I'm going to say, so there's a moment where the terror knight, this dream self of yours, this walking nightmare of potential within your mind of the violence you can wreak. It takes a moment, and it realizes, and you realize simultaneously with it, that even though it is draining your terror and it is fueling itself with it, that means that you yourself are no longer afraid, and you're able to anticipate the rising of its blade with coming up from below. Can you roll your D8 for me one more time?
That was a 1.
A 1? Oh shit. Okay. And so you find yourself paralyzed as this dream, this terror, this nightmare is coming down before you, and you have the perfect opening. You have, everything you could possibly want. You can see what needs to happen, but you can't bring yourself to do it. And so this is where the dream blade comes down, and it would have cut you clean in two, but now you can feel your emotional reserve kick in. And so what does it feel like to no longer accept your reality? Because that's the state you find yourself in, is you had a level 1, and now it has been depleted in the place of getting a slash across the chest. And so what does it feel like to lose your sacred emotion?
I would say it's kind of like when that, not as much an adrenaline rush, but kind of all of a sudden when just mind blank.
Mind blank. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So it's in this state of lack of acceptance is not that your mind is replacing it with what it thinks is happening, but instead it is rejecting reality completely. Um, and so this is now a moment where, in the moon of shadows that rose behind the terror Aemon, um, it now falls and is replaced by the rising sun of the morning. Again, for emphasis on Lex, this is not an actual day that has passed. Your Fairgold has not disappeared. There might have been a slight worry, even though you don't know that's how it works yet, but that's not the case. Um, and so you, Eamon, the real you, realize now do you have a choice? And I think actually, rather than doing this at the end of the episode, I think this would be a great point to flash back to the day before we reunited for this meeting. And you hear a rustling and a cursing coming from deep within the stacks of the library late in your shift. There's no one else around. There's someone rummaging and cursing, and you saw a slight wisp of vape mist coming out between the stacks. And as you round the corner, you see that it's Garion, and he is, again, this is the day before we reunited, and he's rummaging, clearly looking for something, but not finding it. How do you approach him?
Were you were you vaping back here? Was that smoking?
Hey, don't worry about me. I work here, okay? And he looks up, sees that it's you, sees that he actually doesn't work here anymore. He was let go recently. And he's like, "Oh, I'm looking for something that's mine. I left it here. I'll be gone real quick, I swear."
I mean, if you left something here, wouldn't it be like in the employee area, not like in the books?
No, I remember putting it back here. It was a game. I don't think you would restock a game, would you?
Not usually. I mean, we do have a game section, but that's usually more of in the lounge area of the library.
Well, I mean, did you see it? It's called Die. It's important to me. I need it back. Do you know where it is?
I mean, I might have seen it. Also, the bigger question: why aren't you wearing a shirt?
I
Like
oh it
that's.
it
I mean, the game is like the least of my questions right now. I mean, it looks like homeless would be a step up for you.
and this is where to now reveal Garion is in tattered clothing, and you realize you didn't see him come in. He he was just here. You would have noticed a disheveled man walking through the halls of the library, no matter the time of day. Um, but instead, he's like, "Look, I need the game back if I'm going to do what I need to do, and I left it right here. Okay, I just if you just give it back to me, I'll be on my way." And this is where you realize he hasn't recognized you, despite the fact that a week ago, when he came in with his group of friends to play this game, he said hello to you. He recognized you. He knew who you were. But then he disappeared and he hadn't been seen for a week. And now, disheveled, uh, clothes in tatters, rummaging, causing a mess, demanding things of you. He doesn't know who you are anymore. What do you make of that?
Um, in that moment, I'd say it's like, I was like, really wants that game, or really, really took something. One of the two. But Eamon isn't going to be confrontational about that. Because right now, like, he's just more thinking, this is wanting to like always avoid drama. Like, why do I see this becoming unneeded confrontation? Like, look, if where else could the game be? And we'll get it, and then you can leave, okay? Because I didn't see, I don't remember seeing it in the inventory. So I believe that if it is here, maybe you did misplace it. Where could it maybe be? And you can just be done. Get it. That way, less to deal with.
So give me an intelligence roll real quick, just your 2 dice.
Double threes.
Double threes. Okay. So now Garion doesn't quite accost you, but he takes a step closer and he's like, "Why are you lying? I know that you have it. Just give it back to me. Don't tell me that I've lost it when I know that you have it." And it's sitting back on your desk, but there's a piece of you that didn't remember that you found it and didn't remember that you were hanging on to it until this very moment. And you start to realize that there's something a little different going on with this game.
Look, was it that like weird black box with like the red weird lettering?
I knew you had it. I knew you had it. Where is it? I just need it, and I can be on my way.
We found it underneath one of the stacks. It's been sitting on my desk for a while because they were trying to figure out where it goes, and I haven't looked at it, and I haven't looked at it since it was put there a week ago.
How could you not have looked at it when it looked directly into you? And I don't know how I'm going to finish this conversation, and I don't know how it made any sense that you would see your old friend clearly in what you understood it as the midst of a relapse, and yet you would still meet up with him the next day and play this very same game with him that he was crazed over, that he played with friends who have disappeared and haven't been seen since. And now that is the end of the flashback, and you are back in the moment. You are back in that moment, seeing that the Terror Knight has his blade raised high, and you, quite interestingly, now have a moment to strike perfectly and take him out. Give me an actual dice roll, your dexterity plus your D8, and let's see what happens.
Okay, that is a 6, a 5, and a 4, and
Nice.
that is a 7 on the D8.
7 on the D8. That is a full sweep. So you are now able, with a surge of power as your rapier, it bursts with energy, and you know exactly where to fly to land it between the pieces of the Terror Knight's armor and to watch as his flesh evaporates into smoke and mist. And you know that this dream was truly a nightmare, and that you can become the self that you want to be, this heroic, courageous knight. You're no longer just the one who watches. You are now the one who acts. And with that, the everyone watching this great game bursts into applause and cheers. They see a champion in turn to be crowned. Toasty walks up to you from out of the crowd, and he says, "It's good to see you again, old friend. I'm glad to have you on this journey with me." And who do you think that is that says that to you?
Darian?
Is that what you call him?
Yeah.
Yeah, you call him Garion? And he says, "Garion's not here right now. It's just me, Toasty. We should be on to the next side before the night comes out. This isn't somewhere you want to be when the night comes out."
Well, at least you're wearing pants this time.
Optional as they may be, my pants will remain where they are.
Are we all with them at this point again? Are we out of flashback?
Yes, we're out of flashback.
Also, watch your back.
Look pretty good for so long in the
Watch
ground.
your back.
You smell like a sewer, but you don't make a sound.
I think Alan really wants to eat your head. And I don't know how the biology of that works. At what point do you stop being able to do like basic speech?
I like to be sure you're sticking around.
I want to keep out for that.
You know, it's less a worry of biology and more a worry of cosmology. And I think that's close to a fine ending of this. As you walk off into the distance, two things happen. One, the sun is actually setting now. And this is where Lex is getting something between it's a physical alert notification where you now see a timer pop up in your eyes on your what is you can understand as a heads up display, but to Lex is simply her eyes, and it says 2 hours till dawn. With that timer going.
Suddenly, I wonder if I'm a robot.
You wonder if you're a robot. Nice.
I probably more wonder if I'm dreaming that I'm a robot, or having
right at night, but I'm so lazy. Don't want to wander. I stay home at night, but I don't feel afraid as long as I gaze on Waterloo sunset. I'm in paradise.
All right, and so we can.
And I'm
worry
also
about...
starting to think that sorry, Ted, I forgot your character's name.
Alan Spector.
Okay.
Spector.
I'm also starting to think Alan is going nuts.
He's certainly handling things well.
Terry and Julie.
No, we don't need a song at the moment.
And so as you're walking away, we can address what to do with your Fairgold early next time. But what you don't see behind you as the sun sets is the facade of nightly ritual and tournament games recedes, and the ghosts of the stories beneath them emerge, and the monsters begin to crawl from their caves and the holes in the ground, and a new court communes and commences, and it is hungry. And that is it for our second adventure, our first new side adventure in Die. And as you move on to the next realm, you will also level up. So you'll be level 3 next time we play.
And wow, that was tight.
Yeah, that was very.
Was that brief?
It was like 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Okay. All right. I mean,
like
I know that's
45 minutes to an hour.
It was one of those where I was expecting. Oh, you haven't stopped recording yet, have you?
I haven't stopped recording, but that's okay.
You can keep talking about it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
I don't mind post game commentary.
All right. Excellent. So that was a very quick derailing. I actually had a little mechanic that I'll probably save for next time where I expected Tad to go wandering into the crowd in search of merchandise. So I prepared a little randomized. Okay, well, what type of merchant are you going to meet, and maybe that can power up your fool's prep. But again, we can put that in our pocket. We can save that for the
I
next
was
town.
gonna do that, but one, I was having a coughing fit, so sorry about that.
Ah, that's
I had
fine.
that way. But also,
Thank you for muting yourself.
Chew went into it, and then we were like in the middle of the story really quick, so it was
We
like,
were. Yeah, that was also unexpected. I did not plan on the flashback happening where it did, but
sure.
as I was pulling cards, it was kind of a okay, well these don't make sense for what I want to happen in the story, so let's change pace there. Which I did give Chew that little piece of secret communication uh over the time where I said, okay, so you know that Garion used to work at the library, but he doesn't work there anymore. And you had a little run in with him. And I went a little sideways, but we're gonna have to unpack that and keep realizing you know what events have happened before as we go along.
Oh, sure. No, sounds great.
I might need to give Phil muting capabilities because I've kind of decided that like the bard behavior of Alan is going to be either randomly singing lyrics to established songs, possibly to not to the actual music of those
I
songs.
did notice that this session, and I have mixed feelings about it. I will be
Right.
perfectly honest with you.
And I do too, which is why I'm thinking and or singing lyrics that may have come straight from the game, but to established melodies,
Mhm.
except but I didn't expect you to stop the way you did. I was trying to actually low under it, and when you stopped, I'm like, "Ooh, that's not quite the effect that I was looking."
Yeah, I don't actually even like you going under it. I think that's even worse because it makes it hard to like focus on what Phil and Chu were saying. And I mean like that's when Phil and Chu were talking, right? But you know, I'm just throwing that out there. It's like I know you're like I'm very amused by it in the sense
Mhm.
that like it's what your character would do, and I think that's awesome. But on the flip side, I'm like a little concerned about like having that like second sort of voice trying
Hmm.
to go under it. And like, I mean,
Right.
like, I guess if you could really fade it out, it would be fine. But
Well, and this is where my thoughts are giving mute capability to Phil.
Mm.
Because like for me it's a mixture of without doing major sound engineering, like the realism of like if this was all happening in real time, this would
Mhm.
be very much how a bored Alan would be. Oh, you're not talking to me, so I'm gonna start strumming on my guitar or whatever.
Mhm.
um and wanting to make certain that we get the story forward. I don't know what story you're telling, so
Mhm.
I don't always know when it's interesting or not. I'm just trying to riff off of what I hear.
Yeah.
So I think remind me next time, and like I will give you the ability to mute people.
Mm.
And then if you decide that this is not a time for random Allenness, you can hit mute.
We'll take that in consideration for next time. I will definitely be keen on listening to how that turned out because
Yeah.
we did get dreamlike, what pretty much any time the moon comes up in a reading, things are going to get a little weird, a little non-traditional. Um, so that was quite apt. That was quite apt. And yeah, I'll let you know how
Right.
readily I'd want that power next time.
And the other thing is, I'm trying without anybody having to do serious sound engineering. I'm
Mhm.
trying to figure out all of the ways to make, trying to think of ways to make things quirky and interesting for the listener.
Hmm. I,
I don't know what'll work and what won't, and I don't have the time to go back and listen to them, but I know that Phil does. So Phil
yeah,
can tell me, hey,
there we go. I
where-
am on board until someone brings out a kazoo.
right. Um,
But you don't want me to bring out a kazoo?
I
We have
like my
standards.
kazoo.
We have standards here at 22
I'm
panels.
good with my kazoo. Don't you
Apparently we
dare
don't. Apparently we just don't.
slam
Apparently we have
the
standards when
perfect instrument that is the
22,
kazoo.
22 panels no more, but we don't apparently have standards at 22 panels.
There we go. Oh, fine. Until someone busts out the vuvuzela, then I'm on board.
Okay, that's there's just no way to play that softly enough to
No, there's not.
to
I will
make it
accept.
work.
I will accept a didgeridoo. I think that could really bring up the
Though,
ambiance.
though we discovered recently, and I don't
Mhm.
think Tyler's finished editing it to put it up.
Mhm.
So if this one somehow winds up out ahead of time, this will be a little spoiler. When we recorded the Emil Ferris interview live at a book club at Lion's Tooth in Milwaukee, and she let us in a wolf howl at the end that the microphone decided was background noise that needed to be noise canceled.
Hmm.
Oh, wow.
So when we got to the okay, rather than having a group go, oh, we had silence for like 2 seconds.
Oh wow, that's funny.
Phil, I was gonna ask you, do
Mhm.
you want, I mean, like one thing that, you know, I do in my sessions, at least with the family, and Ted
Mhm.
can testify this, is stars and wishes at the end of session.
Mm.
Um, in general, I was just gonna ask you, like, do you want feedback and do you want that on air
Yeah.
or off air? Okay.
Yeah. I'll take feedback on there.
I'll start with like, I'll use my basic principles of stars and wishes. I know
Mhm.
that's not really how we've set things up, but I'll start with stars. I did
We're
really like
making it up as we go.
yeah, I did really like the in-depth ness that you got with Chew. I really liked how like, you had like this specific scenario where it was like, okay, this is like Chew's nightmare, kinda. Or entirely a Chew based sorry, it's not Chew, but it's Chew's character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, sorry, I keep forgetting our characters' names. I should like write
Uh,
them somewhere.
Amen. Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah. This is like an Amen, themed I want to say Fight Club, but
Mhm.
sparring matches, stuff like that.
Mhm.
And how like you sort of like brought out Amon's character and his relationship to Garion. And I really like the storytelling that you put into it. Wishes. I
Mhm.
do kind of wish that like, the rest of the play, like I feel like Tad is just really good about jumping in general, and I'm not
Mhm.
always the best at that.
Okay.
But just having like had that, having had that chance to like have that round table before you, like I know Chew started and like you like
Mhm.
it was very very much like okay, this is what's going on, and then this character like talks to Chew and like,
Mhm.
but having that chance to like sort of like just get a feel for like what all the characters are doing, and that includes myself. So being
Mhm.
able to say, okay, this is what my character is doing at the time, because honestly, past us entering the place, I don't think I did anything, to be perfectly honest, which isn't
Yep.
terrible, but like it'd be nice to have some idea of like, oh, this is what Lex would be doing in this situation while she was dealing with X, Y, and Z. So
Mhm.
That
That is
makes
totally
sense
fair.
to me.
Thank you. Yeah. Have more mid-action check-ins.
yeah. And it doesn't even need to be mid-action. It's just like make sure that, when we're in a spot and scenario, everybody gets a little bit of thing. And then,
Mhm.
I can tell you how like I imagine it, and I would hope that I would do it as a DM, and I hope that I do
Mhm.
it as a DM. And that's essentially like I would have gone around and I would have had Chew like, brought up the part with Chew, and then after talking about, sort of the whole toilet snafu. I'm just gonna call it that. We'll call it bathroom snafu.
Right.
Um, like I would have said, and then somebody comes up to you and says, "Aren't you supposed to be on?" And then right there, sort of like left this mini
Hmm.
cliffhanger to come back to.
Right. Yeah, that's a
And
good
then
point.
like gone back to Tad and me and sort of been like, okay, like what are you two doing at this time? Like
Hmm.
what is Lex doing? What is Alan doing?
Hmm.
All of our characters start with the letter A. Eamon, Alex, Alan.
But Eamon was
I mean,
technically an
Eamon's
E,
technically an E.
but it is an A sound.
Oh, it's because you wrote it A here
Yeah.
on your notes, your written notes, which is
Yeah, I
what
haven't gone and fixed spellings in show notes either.
Mm.
yeah. But anyhow, yeah, that's just my feedback, like
No, that's great.
my thought on it. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, and obviously I don't expect you to be, but
Yeah, I guess I'll add to that. Like
Hmm.
I was caught off guard when we were done because I hadn't felt like Peter or I had done anything, and I knew that we were
Hmm.
centering more on Jonathan, but
Hmm.
I thought that that just meant that he was the lead character rather than
Mm.
the only major thing I did would be the thing that you weren't expecting.
Well, that's a little fitting.
I
But
mean, that's
yes,
fitting
yes,
for my character.
right.
I actually, that's kind of a goal of mine
Uh-huh.
is to throw you off balance at least one per game. I
Right,
feel
right.
like a
No,
fool
that was good.
played,
That's good.
I feel like a fool played properly
Hmm.
should throw the GM off balance.
Hmm.
Because otherwise you're just not actually being foolish. I mean, the entire
Hmm.
like conceit of the fool is that they're more likely to succeed the crazier the thing they're trying to do.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's I will add to that 100%. Please, I love that standard of at least once trying to throw me off my game because even though yeah, I did not expect you to enter the jousting fray.
Right.
I wholly welcome
Well,
those
and
sorts of things.
until I knew that there was a jousting fray,
Yeah.
like I was working around, you'd said like, "Who are you missing?" And I brought
Hmm.
up the cappuccino. I was going to
Hmm.
use my fool's errand or whatever
Mm. Yeah.
to have like essentially, I was going to describe an action where like
Hmm.
I conjured a cup of cappuccino from the air,
Hmm.
drank it daintily, and
Hmm.
then did something crazy.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, that's a pretty good one
But
too.
then I went, "Ooh, jousting,
There you
sir,
go.
motorcycle, let's go."
That's what I wonder if Fel has seen Knight Riders, but that would be because I'm sure they're
I
quite
think
different.
she was planning on watching it after Dylan brought it up during our
Gotcha.
because it was Dylan that brought that one to the fore
Hmm.
when we were talking. Um,
I
yeah.
still need to read Sir, but having just rewatched Knight
It's
Riders, first
so
of
good.
all, it's really good. It's a really good
So I'll actually have to go
unexpected
watch it.
classic.
I've
Yeah,
never seen it before, and
it's
it
I
doesn't
mean,
look like it's one of those things that's good. But every once in a while, there's that thing that
yes.
looks like it's going to be terrible that isn't.
It's I mean, I that was my reaction the first time I saw it going into it was that, oh, this looks like it's going to be terrible. This is
Okay,
people pretending to be knights on motorcycles, an 80s
right?
movie. This is full of cheese. No, it's surprisingly good. Actually ties into Arthurian legend in a really interesting way.
Okay.
Stars a young Ed Harris.
Oh
That's
wow.
yeah, young Ed Harris as a guy who's trying to be King Arthur for a Ren fair that jousts on
So
motorcycles.
this might be one that we need to remember for movie club,
Yeah,
Peter.
written and directed by George Romero.
which
Oh
It's
movie?
wow.
yeah, it's actually a good movie. It's surprising
I was thinking
because
of something else.
oh, but yeah, it's not even like one of the movies they just put his name on that he
All
barely had
right.
anything to do with. He actually wrote and directed this one. So yeah,
All
definitely
right,
worth a good check
I
out
was
there.
just trying to clarify what movie was it again?
Knight Riders,
Oh, Knight
Yeah.
Rider.
not the singular
Not the
Knight
David
Rider.
Hasselhoff TV series
No, no
without an
talking
S.
car, no talking car.
Oh, I
Um,
gotcha. I
yeah.
I understood that there was, some difference there.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. The,
Thankfully.
yeah. No, I
And
will have to do that at
But
some
yeah,
point. I will have
I
to watch it. Period. But I
right.
now we have a family movie club that
Hmm.
goes between picking like classics and really obscure things, and now I want to pick it at some point. Though my next one I have picked because I think it's going to be my turn to pick this week,
Mhm.
and next Tuesday I have a guest that is more of a novelist, poet, and screenwriter. So I was gonna pick his film, so that I have I can then bring the interview in when we're talking about it Wednesday night. So we'll see. There I just teased. Yeah, no, my guest next week is one of the better known guests I've had, but like had comics in one of his novels,
Oh, wow.
but hasn't actually like done comics specifically.
Oh, I have a guess for who that could be, but
You can guess off air. I don't.
I
This is
will.
one
Yeah,
that I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
feel like teasing on air.
Totally fair. Totally fair. I will also say
Other
thank you,
than
Peter.
already did.
Well, teasing, but not actually.
No, this
Yeah.
is not one I want to promote on air.
Mhm.
Yeah. No.
Because among other things, I'm still pinching myself that it's happening. So like until it actually has, I'm going to minimize.
I will say thank you both for the stars and wishes. I would definitely love to
Anything
hear
from
more
you,
of
Chew?
those.
We don't want to leave Chew out of stars and wishes.
Mm-hmm.
Phil, you can
No
also
worries.
have stars and wishes. That's allowed
That's
too.
true.
I think I'm good on this one.
Yeah.
But I will keep them in
sorry, go
mind.
ahead, Chew. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, I just said no worries.
Okay.
I mean that's totally in character for Chew
Mhm.
to be the one that gets cut off. But you don't have to be aiming at this point in the podcast, Chew.
That's okay. I'm also on like 2 hours sleep right now, so
2
Oh,
hours sleep and preparing for his
I'll do
own
it.
D&D game.
I'll do it. Hopefully you have a bit better dice luck in that game.
Chew is a professional chef and therefore one of the people paid to multitask. So
Well,
like preparing
not
a
anymore.
D&D game while playing a die game. And
He does the food safety.
Yeah,
Checking,
now I do food
checking.
safety. So
Now.
now I have a normal schedule,
Yeah.
which is
But that doesn't mean he doesn't have the finely honed skills. I've watched him run a kitchen.
well. Then I would hole up in your office and eat black licorice ice cream.
Ooh,
Exactly.
That sounds fun.
But now that you don't have to do it as your day job, it means you're that much more likely to do it with like your other stuff.
Well, now I'm the one, since I only work Monday through Thursday, I'm the one that suddenly shows up at the game. I'm like, here's a giant bowl. Here's just like a giant pot of chili Colorado and a ton of tortillas. Who can eat the most tacos?
Nice.
That
The
sounds
owner
fun.
got up to 9. The only reason he stopped at 9 is we ran out.
Wow.
Okay.
All righty. Anybody with any last words?
Just I have something to mention to you guys once we get done recording.
Is it the thing that you texted?
Yes.
Well, then mention it on air. Plug the hell out of that shit. I was going to put it in the regular episode.
Okay, a friend of mine, he makes movies, and he has just started a new one called Cure Breed. It is kind of a thriller, sci-fi type of thing. He's also he's already made one movie, a horror anthology called Killinois. That's been winning some awards recently on the independent film circuit. And so he's starting a Kickstarter for his new movie just because he wants to get some better equipment for one. And he has experience pretty much doing this. Like he's currently a film editor for A&E, Lifetime, and things like that. And so one of the stars of the movie is my dog Churro.
Oh, that's adorable.
And to a lesser extent, I've been roped into this because he wrote a character with me in mind, and he didn't tell me this until like, hey, we're doing this. Also, you're in the movie. I'm like, wait, what now? So he's working on pre-production right now. So Pure Breed on Kickstarter. It was a
There you
Good
go.
Boy, but then we found out that there's another horror movie called Boy.
Oh, there you go.
Well, and also there's a number of comics named Good Boy.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I just marked it on Kickstarter so I can throw it into show notes. So when we get to our kickstarting or crowdfunding part of the show, so there's absolutely no reason that you shouldn't plug it. So, all righty. For Phil, Jonathan, Peter, and myself, this has been 22 Panels No More, the Die RPG playing experience. We will see you after the next page.
Hey guys, this is Tyler from 22 Panels. I'm here to tell you all about our Patreon. If you enjoy this show, please consider donating to our Patreon to keep this show going. We have many different tiers, all different levels to help you decide what's right for you. Okay, so get on out there to patreon.com/22panelspodcast.